In the spotlight tonight is Alan Stanton from Surrey, a college lecturer. His specialist subject is the history of England in the 11th century. John Axon from Derbyshire, an electrician. His subject, Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Wendy Forrester from London, a retired journalist, and her subject is the life and works of Elizabeth Gaskell. And David Twynholm from Rugby, a teacher whose subject is the life and music of Rod Stewart. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind. The rules, as you know, are very simple. Each of the contenders has chosen a specialist subject and that takes care of the first 2 minutes of questions. Then the second 2 minutes are based on general knowledge. The winner tonight goes through to the next stage and then who knows, the final. And the prize is a glass bowl and, much more importantly, the coveted title of Mastermind Champion. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Alan Stanton.
And your occupation?
College lecturer.
And your chosen subject?
The history of England in the 11th century.
11th century England in 2 minutes, starting now. In which year did Svein Estridsson make peace with William the Conqueror and withdraw his forces from England?
1067.
1070. At which gathering did Anselm of Canterbury engage in negotiations with the king's spokesman William Bishop of Durham in March 1095?
Canterbury.
Rockingham. What was the name of the nephew of Edward the Confessor who began the process of organising Herefordshire into a Marcher county?
Ralph.
Correct. Which Thane was made Ealdorman of Mercia in 1007 by Ethelred II and subsequently followed a career of treachery that led to his being killed on Canute's orders?
Edric Striona.
Correct. Where in 1086 did William the Conqueror take an oath of allegiance from all landholders of account?
Oxford.
Salisbury. After coming to England to visit his mother, which son of Ethelred was blinded and killed by order of Harold Hereford?
Alfred.
Correct. After revolting against William Rufus, which king of Scotland was killed at Alnwick in 1093?
Malcolm III.
Correct. On whose behalf did Odo of Bayeux organise a rebellion during the first months of the reign of William Rufus?
Pass.
Which tax for the maintenance of military retainers in the king's service was abolished by Edward the Confessor in 1051?
Herregeld.
Correct. Which document is a record of the procedures followed by the commissioners in the Domesday Survey?
Pass.
In 1004, which Earl of East Anglia inflicted losses on the Danes more severe than any they had known in Ethelred II's reign?
Ulf Kettle Snilling.
Correct. At which place on the River Ouse did Harold Hardrada disembark his army in 1066?
Tadcaster.
No, recall, what was the name of the sister of Sweyn Forkbeard who was reputed to have been killed in the St. Brice's Day massacre in 1002?
Pass.
Which term of opprobrium was bestowed on Svein Gudvinson by Edward the Confessor and the army in 1049?
Nithing.
Correct. What is the Latin name of the treatise on estate management? An important record. I've started, so I shall finish. An important record of social conditions in England before the Norman conquest.
Is the Burgle Heidage?
No, it was the Rectitudines Singularum Personarum. You had 3 passes. The name of the sister of Sweyn Forkbeard, reputed to have been killed, was Gunhild. The document, the record of the procedures followed by the commissioners of the Domesday Survey, was the Inquisition of the County of Cambridge. And it was on Robert, Duke of Normandy's behalf that Odo of Bayeux organised a rebellion. You had those passes. You have 7 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
John Axon.
Your occupation?
Electrician.
And your chosen subject?
Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, the series.
The series of Wiedersehen, Pet. 2 minutes, starting now. What is the full name of the character known as Bomber?
Buzzbridge.
Correct. What was the name on the tattoo that Neville ended up with while he was drunk in Dusseldorf?
Lottie.
Correct. Which female character who appeared in both the first and the second series was played by Sue Elliott?
Brenda Hope.
No Marjorie Osborne. Which of the cast members broke his foot during the filming of the first series, which was reflected in the script when the character had a pile of bricks falling on his foot?
Bomber.
No. Pat Roach. When Headley's coffin was being sent back to England, what did Oz try to smuggle inside it?
Pornographic videos.
Correct. Besides Barry, who was responsible for the fire that led to the hut burning down at the end of the first series, started when petrol from Barry's motorbike was ignited by a careless, drunken act?
Wayne.
It was. What object did Moxie have that persuaded the other 6 to let him stay with them in the hut in Dusseldorf?
A dartboard.
He did. Which actor played Colin, the deserter from the British Army who cadged a lift when the lads were on their fishing trip?
Ray Winston.
Yes. Oz was exceedingly proud of having met which country music star, showing people a picture of the two of them together?
Merle Haggard.
It was. When the lads flew out to Spain, they shared the plane with members of the Senior Citizens Society from which town?
Pass.
In the episode Who Won the War Anyway, Neville found an unexploded bomb on the building site while watching which recreational activity?
Football.
Yeah. Dennis and Oz had a fight in a bar over Dennis seeing Dagmar, which led to Oz going to hospital. Who else was involved on the side of Dennis?
McGowan.
Correct. In the episode called Marjorie Doesn't Live Here Anymore, what was the name of the new man in Marjorie Osborne's life who was taking her and Oz's son Rod to live in Italy?
Xandro.
Yep. Joe Fagan's recording of That's Living All Right, the theme song from the first series, reached which position in the UK singles chart in early 1984?
Number 1.
Number 3. In the final episode of the first series, Barry and Hazel get married on whose yacht?
Kenny Ames.
Yes. Who wrote 2 episodes in the first series, including the last one, and 4 episodes in the second series, including 3 of the stories set at Thornley Manor? Just got in time. Take a guess.
Dennis Healy.
Stan Hay was the correct answer. You had 1 pass, and that was the lads flew out to Spain, sharing their plane with people, senior citizens from Spennymoor. John Axon, 1 pass, 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Wendy Forrester,
Your occupation?
retired journalist,
And your chosen subject?
life and works of Elizabeth Gaskell.
Elizabeth Gaskell in 2 minutes, starting now. In which Cheshire town, immortalised as Cranford in her best-known novel, was Elizabeth Gaskell brought up after the death of her mother?
Knutsford.
Correct. Under what blustering northern pseudonym were Elizabeth Gaskell's first 3 stories published?
Cotton Mather Mills.
Yes. Which stately home in Cheshire is usually assumed to be the model for Cumnor Towers in Wives and Daughters?
Clopton Hall.
No. Tatton Park. What was Gaskell's original title for North and South, which was changed under pressure from Charles Dickens?
Pass.
What is the name of the Kay Shuttleworth's home near Bowness in the Lake District where Gaskell first met Charlotte Bronte?
Pass.
In the novel Ruth, what is the name of the dissenting minister who takes the pregnant Ruth Hilton under his wing, letting her live with him and his sister Faith in Eccleston?
Thurston Benson.
It was. According to a biography of Charlotte Bronte, on her last visit to the writer, Gaskell asked her if she'd ever taken which drug, as the description given of its effects in Viet was so accurate.
Opium.
Yes, in The Cage at Cranford, written nearly 10 years after the original novel, what did Mr. Hoggins eat in the drawing room to the horror of the ladies?
Cheese.
Correct. In 1821, the young Elizabeth was sent to a boarding school at Barford near Warwick, run by which ladies?
The Miss Byerleys.
Yes, at the beginning of North and South, Margaret Hale's father is the parson in which village in the New Forest?
Helston.
Correct. By what pet name was the Gaskell's second daughter, Margaret Emily, known to the family?
Meter.
Correct. In Mary Barton, what is the name of the young engineer whose advances Mary discourages because she is hoping for a rich husband?
Jim Wilson.
Yes. Who succeeded Chapman and Hall as Gaskell's publisher after he was recommended to her by Charlotte Bronte?
Smith Elder.
Yes. In Ruth, what was the heroine doing at the assize ball when she first encountered Henry Bellingham?
Helping ladies with their dresses.
Correct. What was the name of the house in Holybourne near Alton in Hampshire that Gaskell bought ostensibly for her husband's retirement?
The Lawns.
The Lawn is indeed what it was. You had 2 passes. The name of the Kay Shuttleworth's home was Briery. And Gaskell's original title for North and South was Margaret Hale. You have a total of 12 points. And our last contender, please. And your name is?
David Twynholm.
Your occupation?
I'm a teacher.
And your chosen subject?
Life and music of Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart in 2 minutes. What was the title of Rod's first solo single released in October '64, which failed to chart in spite of his appearance on Ready, Steady, Go?
Good Morning Little Schoolgirl.
It was. On which '93 album did Rod and Ronnie Wood reunite to record together for the first time since the breakup of the Faces in 1975?
Unplugged and Seated.
Indeed. With which footballer did Rod sing the duet Angel on the 1974 album The Scotland's World Cup Squad?
Dennis Law.
Yes. What kind of shop were Rod's parents, Robert and Elsie, running on the Archway Road, Highgate, when he was growing up?
A newsagent
It
shop.
was. Which particular chore caused Rod to become very quickly disillusioned with his football apprenticeship at Brentford?
Cleaning the boots and the kit.
Indeed. Under what name did the Faces, supplemented by Art Wood and later by Long John Baldry and Jimmy Horowitz, make their UK debut at Cambridge University in June 1969?
Quiet Melon.
Correct. Whose career did Rod help relaunch when he invited her to appear with him at a Los Angeles Forum concert broadcast live worldwide on 19th of December 1981?
Tina Turner.
Yes, throughout their long friendship, Rod has called Sir Elton John Sharon. What does Sir Elton call Rod?
Phyllis.
He does. In May 1983, Baby Jane and Ready Now were released as a 7-inch single. Which track was added to make it a 12-inch single release?
Pass.
At which venue on the opening night of the Jeff Beck Group's 1968 US tour did the stage-stricken Rod sing his first number from behind the amplifiers?
The Fillmore East.
Yes, what was the only new track on the '73 compilation album Sing It Again, Rod?
Oh No, Not My Baby.
No, Pinball Wizard. In which London theatre did Rod sing Pinball Wizard in Lou Reisner's stage production of Tommy in December '72?
The Rainbow.
Yes, which of Rod's children was born to Kelly Emberg in 1987?
Ruby.
Yes, what was the title of the Long John Baldry album that Rod co-produced with Elton John in June '71?
Everything Stops for Tea.
It Ain't Easy. Which album did Warner Brothers rush out in February '93 to capitalise on Rod receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Brits?
Pass.
With which two founder members of Fleetwood Mac did Rod appear as part of Shotgun Express?
Peter Green and Mick Fleetwood.
Correct. The Vagabond Heart Tour. I've just started, but I must finish. The Vagabond Heart Tour, seen as the start of Rod's UK stadium years, actually started indoors at which British venue in late March '91?
Earl's Court.
No, Aberdeen Exhibition Centre. You had 2 passes there. The album that Warner Brothers rushed out in February '93 to capitalise on that award was called Lead Vocalist. And in May '83, Baby Jane and Ready Now were up to a 12-inch single release, If Loving You Is Wrong. So, 2 passes, David Twynholm. You've scored 12 points. And that brings us to the end of our first round, our specialist subject round. So let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points, Alan Stanton. 3rd place with 11, John Axon. Joint 1st place, 12 points and 2 passes each are Wendy Forrester and David Twynholm. So we move to round 2 now, our general knowledge round. Now, if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration, and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. So let's get on with the general knowledge round, and let me first ask Alan Stanton to join us again, if he would, please. And you got 7 points with your knowledge of 11th century England, an incredibly important time in our history, maybe the most important time in the history of this country?
Well, I think it has the most crucial date in it, for sure. And it's a time of very great changes.
And the big date being 1066, I suppose that's
which
it.
you didn't ask me a question about, I noticed.
Funny that, isn't it? We
Yes,
thought you'd probably know that one.
Yeah.
You got 7 points with your knowledge of 11th century England. Let's see how you do, Alan Stanton, with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. In the 1960s television series Daktari, what was the name of the cross-eyed lion?
Clarence.
Correct. In which mountain range is Europe's highest peak Mount Elbrus?
That's in the Caucasus.
It is. Who became the oldest ever Wimbledon champion, equalling Billie Jean King's record number of Wimbledon titles when she won the 2003 mixed doubles title?
Pass.
Who wrote the novel Stanley and the Women, first published in 1984?
Kingsley Amis.
It was. Which comedian who died aged 100 in July 2003 supposedly said, "Surprise me," when his wife asked where he wanted to be buried?
Bob Hope.
Yes. What nickname was given to Peter Bruegel the Younger because he painted many scenes of fires?
The Fireman.
Hell Bruegel. The author Mark Twain took his pen name from a riverman's term to indicate that water around a boat is how deep?
2 fathoms.
Correct. Which South African Prime Minister instituted the system of apartheid after he came to power in 1948?
Verwoerd.
No, it was Milan. What is the principal protein found in milk?
Casein.
Yes. Opened by Queen Victoria in 1850, Robert Stevenson's 28-arch Royal Border Bridge spans which river?
The Avon.
The Tweed. In which of Shakespeare's plays does Viola disguise herself as a boy and become page to Orsino, Duke of Illyria?
Twelfth Night.
Correct. In 1934, which locomotive was the first to run at an authenticated speed of 100 miles an hour?
Mallard.
Flying Scotsman. Which American president owed his nickname Dutch to his father's habit of saying his son looked like a fat little Dutchman?
Pass.
Which item of female attire is contained in the phrase used to describe a romantic period novel of a sexually explicit and passionate nature?
Bodice Ripper.
Yes. Who won a Best Director Oscar for the 1960 film The Apartment?
Pass.
In Greek mythology, what name was given to the 12 children of Uranos and Gaia?
Titans.
Correct. Played by, just started, but I'll finish, played by Kirk Douglas in a 1960 film who led an army of slaves in a war against the Romans from 73 to 71 BC.
Spartacus.
Spartacus it was. You just got that one in. You had 3 passes. The Best Director Oscar for the 60 film The Apartment, it was Billy Wilder. Ronald Reagan was the president who was called Dutch. And the oldest Wimbledon champion was Martina Navratilova. You had 7 points. You now have a total of 17 points. And John Axon, if you join us now, please. And you got 11 points with Auf Wiedersehen Pet. You happen to be an electrician, so I suppose you identified, did you, with those building workers?
Yeah. I used to work on a building site as well when I first left school. I've met characters in real life, definitely, what mirror the ones in the series.
Yeah, I guess we all have one way or the other, haven't we? But what a difference in time, because in those days they had to go abroad to find work. Now, ye gods, you're the most valued person in the whole country.
Yeah, definitely. There's a big demand for tradesmen like plumbers, electricians, and any building workers are all doing very, very well.
Right, you got 11 points with Auf Wiedersehen Pet. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which Quentin Tarantino film opens with 8 criminals at breakfast arguing about the true meaning of Madonna's Like a Virgin?
Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, HCl is the chemical formula for which acid?
Hydrochloric.
Yep. Which Renaissance artist died in Rome on his 37th birthday in 1520? His funeral mass being celebrated in the Vatican, his body buried in the Pantheon.
Raphael.
Yes. Which football manager was the first recipient of the BBC Lifetime Achievement Award in December 2001?
Bobby Robson.
Alex Ferguson. In December 1853, from which country did the United States make the Gadsden Purchase, adding nearly 30,000 square miles to the southern United States for a price of $10 million?
France.
Mexico. In literature, whose first entry in his secret diary is dated 4th of April 1984?
Adrian Mole.
Winston Smith. Which actor played the headmaster of Hogwarts, Professor Dumbledore, in the first 2 Harry Potter films?
Richard Harris.
It was, according to legend, which pupil of rugby school invented rugby union when he picked up the ball and ran with it during a game of football in 1823?
Webb Ellis.
Yes. To which family of birds does the redwing belong?
Thrush.
Yes. Which British sculptor's major works include the massive reclining figures for the UNESCO buildings in Paris and the Lincoln Center in New York?
Thomas. Pass.
Henry Moore. Which New Yorker broke into films as both performer and screenwriter with What's New Pussycat in 1965?
Pass.
Which Spaniard became the youngest driver to take the checkered flag when he won the 2003 Hungarian Grand Prix, aged 22 years and 26 days?
Juan Pablo Montoya.
No, Fernando Alonso. Which port in Yemen on the Red Sea coast, famous historically as Arabia's coffee exporting centre, gives its name to a type of high-quality coffee?
Pass.
In Greek mythology, which sorceress fell in love with Jason and helped him to steal the Golden Fleece?
Medusa.
Medea. Which 1979 UK #1 hit has the opening line, "The silicon chip inside her head gets switched to overload"?
I don't like Mondays.
I don't like Mondays. You got it in just in time. That's exactly what it was. The other two passes you had, the name of the Red Sea coast port that gives its name to that coffee is Mocha. And the New Yorker who broke into films in What's New Pussycat was Woody Allen. So, a total, John Axon, of 18 points. And now Wendy Forrester, please. And joint leader at the end of the last round, 12 points with Mrs. Gaskell. The appeal of her is what, or was what?
Well, for one thing, she's very readable. And for another, she was so good on social conditions. You know, she didn't just write Cranford about nice ladies. She wrote about factory workers and strikes and starvation and unmarried mothers and press gangs and things like that.
It looks as if you sort of identify with her in some senses. I mean, you're a writer yourself, a retired journalist.
Well, yes, but I'm not like Mrs. Gaskell. And she was a very nice woman, or at least she gives
Well,
every...
you may be that as well.
Yes.
Let's rapidly move on, as they say, at this stage, to your general knowledge. You had 12 points. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which law lord headed the inquiry into the death of the weapons expert David Kelly?
Hutton.
Yes. Which odious hypocrite is the title character of a play by Molière?
Oh, pass.
In Arthurian legend, what artifact was presented to Arthur as part of Guinevere's dowry?
Excalibur?
The Round Table. What is the name of the king of Epirus who defeated the Romans in 279 BC at Escalum, but with such heavy losses to his own side that his name is still used for a victory gained at too great a cost?
Pyrrhus.
Correct. In the book by Roald Dahl, farmers Boggis, Bunsen, Bean tried unsuccessfully to kill whom?
The Big Friendly Giant?
No, the Fox. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Which film featuring Katie Johnson as Mrs. Wilberforce was the last of the Ealing comedies?
The Lady Killers?
Yes. Which country has the most official languages in the world, having 11, including English and Zulu?
South Africa?
Correct. Which programming language, widely used when writing applications for the World Wide Web, shares its name with an Indonesian island?
Pass.
Luxembourg has a border with France, Belgium, and which other country?
Germany.
Correct. What name originally applied to those who sat in them is used in Britain for the gallery seats in a theatre?
The Gods.
Yes. Who painted The Last of England after bidding farewell to a friend, Thomas Woolner, who was emigrating to Australia?
Holman Hunt.
Ford Madox Brown. In the House of Lords, the yeoman usher is the deputy of which ceremonial figure?
Blackrod.
Correct. Known in Greece as the Parthenon marbles, by what name do we call these relics now on display in the British Museum?
The Elgin Marbles.
Correct. In December 1942, General von Manstein launched Operation Wintergewitter in an attempt to relieve the German 6th Army trapped near which city?
Stalingrad.
Yes. Which black country town is noted for the zoo in the grounds of its Norman castle?
Pass.
What is the more common name for the visual disorder diplopia?
Double vision.
Double vision it is. You had 3 passes there, Wendy Forrester. The black country town with the zoo in the grounds of its normal castle is Dudley. The programming language is Java. And the odious hypocrite in Molière's play is Tartuffe. And you knew that one.
Yes.
You had 12 points. You now have 22 points. And now David Twynholm, if you would, please. So your subject, I was going to say your passion, is it your passion, is Rod Stewart?
No, he's just an artist that I particularly like.
Why?
He is a very, very good singer. He's an excellent songwriter.
Is he?
And yeah, I think so. And above that, he's a very good interpreter of other people's songs. If you look through his career, that's been his strength. He can take a song by quite unknown songwriters and turn it into a real classic.
You got 12 points on Rod Stewart. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which type of loaf consists of 2 rounds, a smaller one on top of a larger one?
Bloomer.
Cottage loaf. The ancient statue of the goddess Aphrodite, now in the Louvre, is popularly known by what name derived from where it was found?
Pass.
Which infamous frontier town in Kansas on the Santa Fe Trail was named after an American Army colonel?
Pass.
What was the pseudonym of the novelist born Neville S. Norway in 1899?
John Julius Norwich.
Neville Shute. What name is given to people of Tibetan ancestry living in the Himalayas who are renowned for their skills as mountaineers and guides?
Sherpa.
Yes. Which play by the ancient Greek dramatist Aristophanes features the chorus Brekekek Coax Coax?
Pass.
The Troodos Mountains are the principal range on which Mediterranean island?
The Canaries.
Cyprus. Since Friday the 12th of September 1919, the price of which commodity has been fixed daily at the offices of N.M. Rothschild & Sons in St Swithin's Lane, London?
Pass.
Which Rodgers and Hammerstein musical was based on Howard Lindsay and Russell Krause's book about the Austrian nun Maria Reina?
The Sound of Music.
It was. The name of which friend of Odysseus is now used for someone who is a wise and faithful advisor?
Pass.
Which astronomer and mathematician commanded the Royal Navy warship HMS Paramore between 1698 and 1700 on the first sea voyage undertaken for a purely scientific purpose?
Darwin.
Halley. The Japanese city of Ise contains several of the major shrines of which religion?
Shintoism.
Yes. Which composer's works were definitively catalogued by Ludwig van Kerchel?
Beethoven.
No. Mozart. Which folk singer played Big Daddy in both the Broadway and the film versions of Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof?
Burl Ives.
Burl Ives is the correct answer. You had 5 passes there. The name of the friend of Odysseus, Mentor, hence Mentor. Since Friday the 12th of September 1999, it is the price of gold that N.M. Rothschild has fixed. That play we were looking for with the Brekekekeks Coax Coax is The Frogs. The frontier town in Kansas on the Santa Fe Trail is Dodge City, and the ancient statue of Aphrodite in the Louvre now is popularly known as the Venus de Milo. 5 passes, a total now, David Twynholm, of 16 points. So, at the end of the general knowledge round, the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores again. In 4th place, with 16 points, David Twynholm. 3rd place, 17 points, Alan Stanton. 2nd place, 18 points, John Axon. In 1st place, a clear winner with 22 points, Wendy Forrester. Which means, of course, that Wendy Forrester goes through to the next round and moves a step closer, perhaps, to becoming our Mastermind champion. Congratulations to her. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Camel-riding robots and the impressive story of the whale shark. That's just some of Wild Arabia at 9 tonight here on BBC Two.